Today's episode is especially for those who think they can work it out with a narcissist, who believe they can adjust, change, and have a future with them somehow. I hope this episode becomes an eye opener and you wake up to your reality. Because your reality is that the narcissist is never going to change and there is no hope for the relationship. As hopeless as this may sound, a long term relationship with the narcissist that lasts for years turns you into a shell of your former self. It steals your light and takes away your hope to see your life in a positive way. In my eyes, staying in a long term relationship with a narcissist is like signing up for suicide because prolonged exposure to the stress caused by the narcissist's abuse kills you slowly but surely. Let's talk more about this in today's episode. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In today's episode, we'll learn 5 destructive things to expect in a long term relationship with a narcissist. If that sounds interesting and you are eager to learn more, please make sure to subscribe by pressing the subscribe button and push the bell icon to stay updated. Let's get started with number 1. Total isolation. After spending years in a relationship with a narcissist, you find yourself engulfed in a profound sense of isolation and disconnection. The relentless emotional manipulation and constant erosion of your self-worth leave you feeling like a shell of your former self, unsure of who you are and what you truly desire. The psychological battering worsens because there are no phases of love bombing anymore. You are treated like a useless object whose presence or absence doesn't matter unless the narcissist needs you to cook, earn, and clean for them. They do not wear any facade anymore, especially when around you. Children, if you happen to have any, are busy with their lives, and you are left alone to deal with the harrowing loneliness of the dead relationship. You struggle to reconnect with the world around you and rekindle the relationships that were cast aside. It's a lonely, daunting journey of pain and agony. It never gets better, and there is no light at the end of any tunnel for the future of this relationship. Number 2, the epitome of infidelity. Cheating runs in the blood of a narcissist because they are liars and cannot live without lying. They have to have multiple sources of supply to live as a parasite. This unquenchable thirst for fuel takes its most disordered form as years pass in your relationship with them. A time comes when they do it openly, when they cheat on you openly and shamelessly without any barriers. They don't care how you feel about it and you leaving them. If asked why, they blame everything on you. Ultimately, you are left feeling utterly betrayed and emotionally eviscerated. The constant deception and unfaithfulness don't only shatter your trust but also erode your sense of self-worth, leaving you to question your own worthiness and desirability. The countless lies and manipulations burn you with feelings of anger, sadness, and humiliation. The narcissist's blatant disregard for the sanctity of your relationship inflicts deep, lasting wounds on your psyche that take a long time to heal once and if you leave. Number 3, the weight of the world on your shoulders. Shifting responsibilities onto others is the hallmark of the escapist narcissist. They avoid responsibility by placing the burden on your shoulders. They exploit you financially, emotionally, or physically. When this continues for years, when you keep bearing the burden for decades without a break, a time comes when you find yourself dead exhausted and broken by the weight of their expectations and demands. Their unrelenting insistence on placing the blame for every issue, big or small, on your shoulders leaves you feeling perpetually inadequate and overwhelmed. The constant pressure to absorb their shortcomings and rectify their mistakes robs you of your confidence and self-esteem, forcing you to question your abilities and worth. The emotional toll of carrying this heavy burden fractures your spirit and you feel you can't carry anything, not even yourself anymore. Number 4, the high price of love. A narcissist crosses all limits when financially abusing you. This takes various forms, such as taking out loans in your name or using your financial resources for their own gain. Having spent years in a relationship with a narcissist who financially abused you to the last penny, you find yourself struggling with feelings of betrayal, vulnerability, and pure devastation. The manipulative tactics employed to control and exploit your resources leave you feeling used and stripped of your financial independence. The countless instances of monetary coercion and deception leave you filled with anger and regret for having relinquished your hard earned assets to someone who showed no empathy or consideration for your well being and left you broke. This draining experience leaves you struggling to regain your financial footing and regain independence once and if you separate from them. Number 5 and the last one, unrealistic expectations. A narcissist expects you to fulfill every demand, no matter how unreasonable or impossible. This includes constant 24/7 attention, sex, and admiration. You find yourself in a never-ending cycle of trying to meet the narcissist's needs, only to discover that your efforts are never enough. The years spent in a relationship with a narcissist, enduring the stress of their relentless demands, leave you with a deep sense of emotional erosion and despair. The unrelenting pressure to conform to their impossible standards gnaw at the core of your being, leaving you feeling inadequate, worthless, and perpetually defeated. Every moment spent striving to meet these unreachable benchmarks only serves to further diminish your sense of self and shatter your once unyielding spirit. The relentless barrage of criticism and disappointment accompanying your perceived failures fueled a whirlwind of self-doubt and desolation. You stand amid the wreckage of this soul-crushing relationship, trying to summon the strength and courage to rebuild your fractured identity, but the narcissist never lets that happen until you leave and never look back again. To summarize, a long-term relationship with a narcissist is a treacherous journey filled with emotional turmoil, betrayal, and manipulation. The experience of enduring emotional manipulation, infidelity, displaced responsibilities, financial abuse, and unrealistic expectations erodes one's sense of self-worth and identity. The journey towards healing and rediscovery can become very difficult to even fathom, but reclaiming your autonomy is still possible. There is still hope for you, no matter how long you have been with the narcissist. That was it for today's episode. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, let me know in comments. Drop a like and share this episode with others. I'll talk with you again in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin and continue.